Assalamu alaikum. You're watching the Haider Rifaat Show Season 8 specials, and I'm your host, Haider Rifaat. Today, it's an absolute honor for me to be joined by Tooba Siddiqui. She needs no introduction. She has been a model for many years. She's now an actress, and she's one of my personal favorite actresses, so which makes this a very special interview. So, thank you so much, Tooba, for joining me. It's a pleasure having you on the show. I know that we've been trying to do this interview for a long time, so I'm finally glad that you were able to do this. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Heather. I know it's been so long and it's just the timings have been so off that somehow the timings were not right. But finally, I'm here and let's do this today.
Yes, thank you so much. So, Atuba, as I know that you are very selective in your projects and the scripts that you sign, but your recent choice of projects have been mostly thrillers. Like I've seen Dushman-e-Jaan, Jurm, and Gum, and all three of them have an underlying thriller theme to it. So, what really intrigues you about thriller dramas?
I'm a huge thriller fan. I've been a fan of thrillers since my childhood. So and it was sad that in Pakistan there were not many thrillers because it's not the genre a lot of people explore in Pakistan. But recently, when I did Dushman-e-Jaan, it's been years now, and that was the first one, and I was very intrigued by the script, and I was like, oh my God, this is something new. I want to do it. After that, nothing happened. Years I did, Khuda and Mohabbat. I did a couple of other things, but very selective. Then Jurm, actually, Gumn came first because I was planning on Gumn for the last 3 years, and we shot it 2 years ago. And Jurm came much later because Marine called me and she said that there's this 4 episode mystery. And I said, oh my God, it's almost like Gum, but it's okay. I don't mind doing it. So apparently that came before Gum. Otherwise, Gum was shot way before that.
Right, right. Right, that's amazing. And speaking of Gum, you were also this is your first producing experience too on this very project. So how has that
Correct.
experience been like? And do you feel like do you enjoy the production side more than acting itself, or do you feel like acting is more prominent for you?
I feel that I wanted to take this responsibility upon myself to produce something new.
Hmm.
And to do that, the only way that could have happened was if I stepped into those shoes of production. And I was very fortunate to have a great producer with me, who's a friend of mine, Iram Bint Shahid. And she's been telling me for years, although I am more on the creative side of production,
Right.
and Iram was handling the other side of the production, but I just wanted to produce some content that has not been shown on TV yet. And the kind of story Gum had, we really wanted to be. I wanted to be shown on TV like that.
Hmm. And how was your experience working with Wahaj Ali?
Wahaj is a sweetheart. It was amazing working with him. He was so good. He was so down to earth. We had a blast on the set. We got along really well. He's a very good actor, and he's got a beautiful screen presence as well. So although we had very few scenes, but I think the chemistry speaks for itself. It was a fun shoot to do.
Hmm. And speaking of which, you also, apart from acting and modeling, is there something else that you want to explore further? I mean, you've already dabbled with production also. So is there something else that's left for you to explore?
I already have explored myself as a writer now, so I'm pretty sure I'm pretty happy with the fact that I got into screenplay. I
Hmm.
wrote the screenplay myself for Gum, and I got another very talented writer from Karachi, Hamza. He's a new kid on the block. You should watch out for him. And I got him to write the dialogues and everything for me for Gum. So it was very it was a great team effort. We made it, and I wanted a story to be told in a certain way, not the very particular Pakistani straight up drama style, but I wanted it to give it a bit of a Netflix feel. We changed the structure of the whole thing. The narrative was told in a different way. I don't know if you've seen Gum, but everybody's been. I'm very glad that I'm overwhelmed by the response that I'm getting from people. I was very afraid initially. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I don't think people are gonna like it. They're not gonna get it. It's not the usual. But I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, and I feel like that conversation is definitely moving in that direction where people are appreciating more of those thrillers.
Yeah.
I think there's a growing appreciation for that. So I feel like that's a step in the right direction for our
Mhm.
industry. So Tuba, for more than 2 decades, you have been in Pakistan's entertainment business. So I'm curious to know what has working in this industry taught you in terms of staying in your path of success?
Um, I feel it's a very generic answer. I guess you learn a lot from good and bad things that you've done in your past when it comes to your career. And I feel I've acting. I was always interested in. It's my first love before modeling. Although modeling started before for me, but and I'm also still recognized as model and then actor. But I would like to be known as actor now than past model. But you see, acting was my first love. I always wanted to act. And then similarly, I had this thing about storytelling. And a lot of years have passed. I've done a lot of characters. Unfortunately, back in 2000s, social media, Instagram, and all of this was not really available. So a lot of characters that I've done are just gone, done and gone with. So nobody really cared or nobody really watched it again on YouTube. So now when I get roles, I was hoping that things will change because I'm at that age that I want to explore myself as different people as an actor. And I wasn't really getting those things. So I think what taught me was that maybe don't overexpose yourself too much on TV. And I'm very choosy in working or selecting scripts. And I feel a lot of maybe I'm pissed off a lot of directors and producers because of that as well. But it's just how I am. I'm very moody when it comes to selecting things.
Hmm. Yeah, and I feel like now that you have taken the role of a producer too on this very project, I think you can be that responsible person to kind of like shift that narrative in the industry with regards to maybe producing future projects that are more in
Yeah.
line with something that you feel passionate about and what you really want to do and want to see on television, right? Right? Is that correct?
Bilkul, I feel that it's so important. There's so many stories to be told. I have tons of things, tons of ideas, like-minded people with me. We all want to tell stories. There's so much talent in Pakistan that needs to be explored. I feel it's really sad for an actor. I know that a lot of young actors are just given these roles, but I'm sure in their heart they just don't want to do the same thing again and again. And I know that they want to do different things. As an actor, look at where the world has gone now. Netflix is happening, Amazon, all these OTT platforms are they're making different things. As an actor, I don't think that there's any actor in the world who just wants to keep on doing the same work. You just want to be a different person every day. You want to make sure your audience likes you like that. But unfortunately, in Pakistani TV industry, it's very hard to change yourself or come out with a new character or look or anything. So I want to change that. I
Hmm.
do. That's my goal, I think. I want to give different stories, different characters to men and women of different ages, different color, different sizes. I want to do that. I want to explore that about Pakistan. It's not just a pyari beti and a
Yeah.
bad toxic lover. I'm done with those things.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's high time that it changes now because everything is just changing so rapidly in the television and the digital landscape. So speaking of which, victimization of women on television in terms of the characters that are being written for women,
Mhm.
for female actors. And unfortunately, because of that, there's a lot of creative blockage too. Because we're not moving away from that narrative of victimization. So, do you think
True.
is our TV landscape changing in terms of how we represent women on screen, or do you feel like we're still in the same rabbit hole?
I do feel that there is change coming. I mean, I keep on seeing different stuff, which is very good. Recently, I saw a few projects that were on air, and they were really good, and they projected women in a very good light. As in, see, I feel that it's just done to death. Also,
Mhm.
that women are weak. We always give them a problem, but we never show a solution to it. So I feel like that is where we lack. I feel there are a lot of stories that about men that have to be explored on TV. And I feel that it's because all dramas are about women, but sorry, but men are also there. There are so many stories to be told about guys in different fields, going through different phases of life, and we've not really explored that about a middle-aged man going through, middle-age crisis or anything. It can be anything, any profession. We don't really, sort of focus on. We just focus on the gharelu politics, the house. Let's just make a drama inside the house. What's happening in the house? Who wants to see that now? You want to see other things, and then you get bored from that. I hope that changes.
Yeah, and I feel like there are a lot of great new channels that are surfacing. Green Entertainment, you're part of it. It's
Correct.
bringing some great projects to light, which is amazing, and something to think about because we are so used to seeing recycled content on television that when we see something fresh, it just hits different. So I feel like that's something great. So Tuba, any character that you want to play in the future, moving forward, that you really want?
So many. I am. It's endless. My wish list is endless. I wish that I started writing much earlier in my life, but I mean, I can't do anything at many, but I have now. So I want to write more and more characters for women who are my age, even men, different ages, I guess. And I want to basically explore stories. And yeah, for me, I want to do something like a period play. I feel that I really love the costumes and the dramaticness of a period play, a good story from a different time. So I would love to do that.
Right, right. No, that's great. That's amazing. And I hope you do that in the future. So Tuba, also moving to a more personal side of things, what part of your personality or your personality trait do you think has guided you to become a successful artist in the industry? Because there are a lot of times where you do struggle, and there are a lot of times where you kind of like take all that in and you self-reflect and you feel like, okay, I have to navigate this because acting is my passion. And although there are all of these roadblocks, all of these struggles, all of these challenges, especially early on in your career, that you feel confused and you really have to come up with a defense mechanism on how to deal with it. So, what part of your personality has really guided you to be where you are and to be at peace?
So I would say, Heather, that a personality trait about me has always been, and I don't know if is this like a PG rating show? I can use a few words.
Of course, please go ahead. Uncensored.
No, but I actually, okay, fine. To say it nicely is that I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about anybody thinking what I should do or what I should not do. It's always been about me, what I want to do, what I want to expose myself to, the kind of characters I want to play. I really, really don't care about what people want me to see me as what. So I think, and that's been the positive force about myself. And I've been fortunate enough not to be, did not really matter as being my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like this whole acting thing. I mean, thank God for that. But I understand that some actors, it's their bread and butter, so they just have to be doing all the run-of-the-mill roles, and they have to keep on doing every sort of work that comes their way. I've been lucky, and I've been fortunate enough to be choosing everything that I want to do, and it's very, very hard to convince me to do, the roles that I want to do. And if someone is approaching me, they really have to come up with a great pitch and say, otherwise I'll be just like the first 5 pages I'll read of a script, and I'm like, not for me. Sorry.
Yeah. And the other thing is, which is very challenging to do, is that you're also a mother and a wife, and you're also doing all these acting gigs, even at this age in your life. So I wanted to ask you, what is key to sustaining that, not work-life balance, but I would say, what is key to sustaining marriage, especially being part of the entertainment industry? Because we know, like, there are a lot of relationships that fall apart, especially when you're in the limelight. Everything becomes very short term, and there's a very small percentage of people who are able to sustain such a long marriage. So there's definitely something key there. So can you share that with us, the viewers too?
I feel everybody's different. I feel it's an individuality that can take a marriage work. It's different with people. For me, I would just speak about myself. I'm a very private person. I've never really gone on to Instagram or Facebook and, showed the world that what I'm up to, who I'm married to, my kids. I do not put pictures up with my family events. I do not like to show that side to anybody. In fact, the only time I'm actually active on Instagram is when I want to promote something of my work, and that's about it. And I feel that my husband is the biggest support, and he's really cool. He's really chill. He gets along with my mood swings. It's been years now, so we kind of both know each other really well. And I feel that it's not about compromises. It's not about sacrifices. It's about how you both are with each other, and you give each other that space for anything. And I feel that at this point in my life, I'm where I love doing what I do, and he loves doing what he does. But when we are together, we just great together. And I want that to be like that. My kids are great as well, and I like to keep that thing separately from my work. When I'm working, I don't even call home. So I don't call home. I'm saying, hey, what's happening? What's happening with the kids? I do not call home. Only when I'm off, like if I go back to a hotel, or if I'm like sitting at, after my shoot, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Everything okay? So that's my thing. I switch off and then I switch back on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I feel like, what about in terms of managing family affairs and everything? What about your children when they see you on television? Is it something that feels weird for them, or is it like something that they've gotten used to? And have they seen any of your plays in the past?
They have. They like it. I feel my daughter is very into it. She's saying, I want to be an actor. I was like, why not? You have to audition for me. And she's like, yeah, sure, Mama, I will do it. But it's up to them. My kids have seen some stuff, but they were still very young to realize what's happening. If I'm at a mall or somewhere, someone comes and takes a picture with me, and they'll be like, why are you taking pictures with my mom? What's happening? And now they finally realize that she does come on TV. She's a bit famous, so people know her. So it's a nice thing. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah. And before I come back to my last question, I want to ask you any other projects that you're working on currently or in the future?
Yes, a lot actually. I've got 3 things going on simultaneously right now, which we're working on. I'm not going to disclose it, but it's something going to be fun and even more crazier than Gumn. So let's hope.
And what about film? Have you taken a complete hiatus from that, or are you still thinking of like what script comes to mind, then I will sign this particular film?
Well, inshallah, I think that there are some things in the pipeline, and we are planning to do some things on that area as well. So yes, films are definitely in the pipeline.
That's great. And very lastly, towards the end, Tooba, any advice for youngsters who are starting off in this field, something that they can learn from your experience?
I mean, I would say everybody has to learn from their own experience. I do not think that my experience would matter to anybody. But yeah, like giving them a bit of sorry about that. Giving them a bit of advice would be that follow your dreams. I mean, and have big dreams, and stay true to yourself and your craft. And really, if you did the 2 things, if you want to be an actor, do you want to be famous? So whichever line you want to pick, if you want to be an actor, then do all sorts of roles. Don't be shy to, shave off your head and, become old or do whatever. And if you want to be famous, then, there's a whole new route for that now. So it's that for me.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Tooba. You've definitely held your own in this entertainment business. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very talented, and I've always been a fan. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Haider. Thank you so much.
That is all for now, listeners, viewers. Stay tuned for more on my official YouTube channel and Facebook page. Until then, take care. Allah Hafiz.